Bam, right there. Hello. Yes, that's me, Token Vaping. So today's review is just going to be something a little different, a little more simple. I'm giving a opinion, or my opinion, of the Druga. I like Druga. I'm not sure if there's a specific way to it, but the Druga RDA. And then I'm just going to kind of give a shout out to a gentleman that I had the pleasure of meeting locally who does build some coils himself. So gave me a pair to try, and I told him that I would test them out, try them out on this, and I would give a quick shout out to him for that. But this is the RDA itself. This is the base of it. Now, I bought mine, as I do basically all of my vaping stuff. I purchased mine off of Element Vape, elementvape.com, and I will put that link in the comment box. You can go to Augvape, augvape.com, I believe it is, and who is the manufacturer of the RDA, and you can purchase it directly off there if you so choose. But this is the base of it. It's a 24 millimeter, so it pretty much will fit, you know, basically everything nowadays, because everything is accommodated to fit 24, 25, up to 30, just because, you know, the tops are starting to get bigger, wider. Has a deep juice well in it, as you can see it right in there. Now, the one positive thing about this that they're pushing or promoting is that it's basically a toolless post setup. It's a dual post, but it's toolless, which it has the knurled caps on it, so you can basically just use your hands to tighten and untighten them. If you want to use a Phillips head, you can do that as well. That's probably my biggest con so far. I've been using this about a week or so now. That's probably my biggest con for the toolless aspect of it, is that it never seems like you can actually get it tight enough, especially when you built the coils, put them in, and you fire them to, you know, get them all even glowed and get all the hot spots out and everything else. Obviously, you know, I'm not an expert builder. I like to vape and I like drippers, but I'm not experienced enough as far as coil building. But it's just anytime that you're heating them up and you're adjusting and everything else, the posts and the screws always tend to come a little bit loose, so you always have to make sure that they're tightened. But with these, it never seems like you're ever going to be able to get it tight enough. You basically have to use a screw to tighten it at the end. I mean, it may be a personal preference. I know a few people who have raved about this thing, which is why I did want to try this out. I know the adjustment process is common in most RDAs. It always seems like after a day or two of trying this without using a screwdriver at all, I constantly felt like I had to check the post caps to make sure that they were tight, and then I finally just took a screwdriver, tightened them down, and I haven't had a problem since. Obviously, you can get them tighter with the screwdriver. You know, it's a give or take. The concept of it, I think, is really cool, just because, you know, if you misplace your screwdriver, things like that, you don't have to worry about it or panic, because, you know, you can just tighten them down with your fingers. But like I said, it's going to be a personal preference as far as to whether, in my opinion, as to whether it's going to be, you know, better than ones where you have to use a tool type thing. But it does give you a beefy spacing slots, so that you can put you can put some big builds in there. And I apologize for the focus issue, but those are the coils that the gentleman that I ran into, he built. His name is Mr. Barone. You can contact him, email him directly. I will put his email address in the comment box. These are he goes by Victory Coils. You can go to easy.com. They're on there for purchase if you are interested in them. These coils are a nichrome. It is an N80 26 gauge 3 core with a 36 gauge wrap. And this, I will tell you, and I'm putting this on my Coil Master tab, this is the lowest build I have ever used. I normally tend, even when I'm dripping, most of the time that I have coils, whether they're built for me or if I just use standard coils, I usually stay around the 0.2 range. This reads out at a 0.1. Me personally, I don't feel safe using this on anything but a mech mod, but it's still a little bit outside of my comfort zone. just because, like I said, I don't vape on anything that low in power, but I know people that do. So if it works for them, you know, it again comes down to a preference. But the Druga itself, it is a 24 millimeter diameter. As I showed you, it does have a really deep juice well, which is nice. And the fact that it has the dual post, you can actually drip directly down the center without having to constantly take the cap off and drip straight on the cotton itself. That's kind of how I drip, so I kind of prefer that. It has a stainless steel construction, 24 karat gold plated build deck. It has the clamp snag, which is what they call that, basically just being toolless. And it's got peak insulators. It's got side airflow controls, so there's one on each side, so a dual side. An 801 drip tip, and then it has a widebore top cap that's made of ULTEM, and then a Delrin widebore. It also comes with an extra squonk pin on the 510 connection, which is cool because they do that to accommodate people who still use squonkers, and that's those devices that have the little plastic bottom that you squeeze and the juice comes up through the 510 pin and then you vape that way. I still know a lot of people that use those, so it's cool that they give you a pin to accommodate that. It also has a 25 karat gold plated 510 connection, so it definitely does work. Now it comes in this cool barrel container like this. It says Druga RDA. It's got the Augvape logo on top. And then it just basically says thank you for your support, and then it has their authentication code, barcode, not barcode, but scan code on the back. And then it comes in, like I said, it's packed in the styrofoam, so it's actually packed pretty well as far as for safety, so that it's not going to get bounced around, scratched up, or dented. And I'm having a heck of a time trying to get the plastic bag out of here. That has the spare parts. So there is the gold part is the squonk pin. It comes with extra seals. There is the Delrin widebore. There is a 510 adapter, so you can use your own custom adapter, if a custom tip if you want. I've been keeping the ULTEM one on here. It says Druga on it as well, right there. And this one, it looks cool with it. It pops nicely, but it works well. There is the airflow control cap, and then it has the dual slots. And I will put that all together. I just need to wick some cotton in here so that you guys can see that. And the cotton, as I use, Texas Tough cotton, works really well, holds up. And the main reason that I like it is just simply the fact that it has little to no break-in time. I use it for all of my reviews. I use it on a daily basis. It works really easily. You don't really have to fight with it, as I do know some cotton does. And I do apologize. I was trying to get this so that you could see there. Just because I have people that still question sometimes the cotton that I use because they never actually see me wick it, so to speak, even though I show that it's cotton. So this is the Texas Tough. I will put that link in the comment box, as I always do for my reviews and everything else as such. And then forgive me because this is kind of an odd angle for me to be wicking at, as I don't normally, it's usually a bit lower, but I didn't want to angle the camera all the way down. And like I said, this was meant to be just a quick little review video on it, just from I guess you could say an everyday vapor. I'm not as in-depth with these things as some people are. I do like them. Like I said, I'm not an experienced coil builder, so I usually use, if I build for myself, it's just standard coils. But I do have a gentleman that has been gracious enough to let me or allow me the privilege of using some of his custom builds. And then, like I said, Mr. Barone was a gentleman that I had the pleasure of running into at a local vape shop, and we got to talking, and his passion for vaping, you know, became clear really fast, and the fact that he enjoys building for himself and things like that, and it was just something that he started to do. And then he had a few people basically ask him about his coils and you know, what he uses. So then he, instead of just trying to explain it every time and things like that, he decided to make some, and they have become pretty popular in the local area. So he's just basically trying to get his name out, and I told him that I would try them out, and I'm doing that for you guys here. So I'm just going to do a quick vape on my mech mod with this. It's just power wise, it just makes me feel a little bit safer instead of using it in a actual device. Like I said, it definitely is a lower build than I'm used to, which is part of why I'm doing it that way. So there it is with cotton. Cap put together is basically going to be look like this. And I like the black on it with the silver. It almost has like a chromish type pop to it, a silver fill in on the double D. Now, the one thing I will say that kind of confused me is in the case you get a hex key. I'm not really sure why specifically, because the posts on it are Phillips head screws. So I'm not really sure specifically what the hex key is for. It just kind of threw me off for a bit when I saw it. But, you know, I don't know if that's just standard or if that's just what people throw in. There's the 510 gold connection, and as you can see, it does stick out quite a bit so that it does make it safe to use on a mech mod. And I'm using my VGod Pro Mech. I'm going to slap that on first, as I always do and feel comfortable with, and then I will put the battery in. And what am I going to vape? Oh, okay. And for vaping, I'm going to use Doughboy from Abstract. I just did a review on this recently, so if you want to check out my review on this flavor, definitely go ahead and check out my channel for that as well. So I'm going to go ahead, just juice this up, and then I'm just going to do a quick vape on it. It's more just to show the clouds off of the coils. It's not meant to really be all in-depth about the flavor. Like I said, I did do a review on this already, so that flavor description and my opinion of that is already up. This has already gone a little bit longer than I was hoping it would. Again, this was just meant to be a quick little video as far as to my feelings or opinion on this RDA just as a whole. So go ahead and get that capped up. Okay, so this is the Druga RDA. Like I said, on a straight black finish, it definitely looks cool. And these were the coils built by Mr. John Barone for me to test out. So as you can see, the airflow is tremendous, and like I said, with the dual post not having a center of anything to obstruct, makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to drip, because you can just basically drip the juice right down the center and it'll flow out into the cotton, and you don't have to keep taking the cap off. I kind of like that myself. Airflow is rock solid. I really do like the airflow. The coils work really well. It does heat up quick, but that's to be expected. But really, really smooth for what it is. The flavor pops really, really nice. So definitely check it out, easy.com under Victory Coils if you're interested in Mr. Barone's coils. Druga RDA, go to Augvape.com, or you can go to elementvape.com, which is where I purchase all of my my vaping supplies, needs, devices, tops, things like that. Definitely check them out. As always, guys, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest. Anything that I can do myself to help further enhance your vaping experience and make it more enjoyable for you, it's the only reason why I do this. So definitely reach out to me. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. A particular video you like to see, I will do everything in my power to make that happen. But until next time, always remember, morning, noon, night, truly love yourself. Thank you for listening to me rant about the Druga RDA. Have a good one, guys.